Today on the channel, we're going to be talking about a character-specific lightsaber from the Ahsoka series. Today, we're talking about Shin Hati. You're not going to want to miss this one. What's going on, you guys? It's Chris, aka The Nerd, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, we talk about all things nerdy, especially Star Wars. So grab a drink, grab a snack, let's get right into it. So today we have a brand new lightsaber coming to you guys from Vader Sabers, and you guys can see this is a beast of a box that we're getting from Vader Sabers. Now, you guys know that the Ahsoka series was great. If you haven't seen it, well, why haven't you seen it? Because it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. Now, if you didn't see Rebels, you should probably watch Rebels, but then watch Rebels and then watch the Ahsoka series. You know what I mean. Now, I reached out to Russell of Vader Sabers and I told him I wanted this lightsaber. And of course, we're going to be talking about Shin Hati. Now, Shin was a character that we saw in the early minutes of the first episode, and we saw her progress throughout the show. I'm very excited to see what Disney does with her as a character in season 2. But it was so important that I got her lightsaber for the collection. Now, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking out the channel. If you like what you see, consider to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button, as it really helps this channel grow. Now, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get right into it because I'm super excited to show you guys this brand new lightsaber. Alright guys, so you guys know there's no secret that I review Vader Sabers lightsabers. I enjoy their lightsabers. I love the quality of their lightsabers. And you do know that they sell what we call budget lightsabers, right? And nowadays, these budget lightsabers, the quality is getting ridiculously good at this point. And what I wanted to see if they had anything of much higher quality. Now, a lot of things in my collection is a really high quality lightsaber, and I was curious to know what they had, and I was not aware that Vader Sabers sold higher quality lightsabers. So when we're talking about higher quality, we have like THQ or LGT or / Nexus, but we also have what's called like 89 sabers, and we also have elf sabers. Now, I have a couple elf sabers in my collection already, and as soon as I spoke to Russell at Vader Sabers, he told me he has an elf saber version of Shin Hati. Yeah, I jumped on that right away. Now, one thing I noticed when it comes to an elf saber that we're getting from Vader Sabers is that you're getting a different box than you normally would from Vader Sabers. Now, the actual padlocks here actually have keyholes now, so if you actually open this up, and you'll be able to see in here, you get all the goodies located here. You are going to get a set of keys that come with it. So yeah, you can actually lock this out without a combination. And that's very, very cool because some of us forget combinations. And when I say some of us, it's usually me. Now in the box, let me go and put that aside for now. You will get a charger as well, which this is very different from what you get from the rest of their sabers. This is very cool just because it has the USB already attached in there. That's very cool. Now, you're not going to get the brick that you would have plugged into the wall. That's totally fine because I'm sure the majority of us have like a bunch of those already, so it's not a big deal. Here also, there's a pen. It's a pen. I don't know why there's a pen, but I'm going to use it because it's a free pen. You are also going to get a 32-inch blade here. This is going to come standard with a lot of your sabers that you're going to get from Vader Sabers, so I have a ton of blades now. You are also going to get an acrylic stand here for the saber. This is a very specific stand. I will get to that soon, but I love what they did with it because it's very interesting what they do with it. It's not your generic stand, but we'll get to that here in a second. Also, what you're going to get is going to be the blade plug there. This is a very accurate blade plug to the show as well. This is very cool that Elf Sabers didn't use like some generic plug. Elf Sabers have great quality products, and yeah, I mean, like I said, it's my third Elf Sabers that I have, and I'm happy with every single one I've gotten. So this is great quality. Now, when you get the saber, you're gonna see it's beautiful. It's great size. I think for accuracy purposes, it's supposed to be a tad bit smaller, just a little bit shorter. Nothing crazy. But I mean, what you're getting for this and the details and you can just feel it in the metal. The quality is there. Elf Sabers knocked this one out of the park. Now, you don't get a ton of weathering, but you do get some weathering in there. You do get some details that really pop out in the crevices there. The colors are quite accurate to the concept, or not the concept art, to what you saw at San Diego Comic-Con. All those photos, you will see just how great this looks compared to it. This grip is kind of textured, but it's very smooth at the same time. It's almost like a bone color, and it's great. It feels great in the hand. Now, the buttons here, you're going to get here. Here is the activation button. right there, as well as the auxiliary there. So yeah, this is going to be a 2-button setup here. And then you're also going to get the D-ring, which I love the D-ring because it's not like flappy. So if I do this, it's not going to flap everywhere. And you can see I have to add a little bit of tension there just to get it to move. And that's great. I love the fact that you can do that because a lot of D-rings nowadays just flap everywhere, and I'm not a fan of those. Now, when it comes to the chassis, now Sabers have great chassis systems, and the quality of their 3D printed chassis are incredible. And like I said, I have 3 of them, and every single one came this way. So once I opened it and I wanted to see the actual chassis itself, I was really hoping you're gonna get the same quality that you do with the other ones that I have. And once you pop this sucker out, let me get this out of the way, you can just see the quality there, and you can already tell it's gonna have some neopixels there, located right in there. And then you're gonna get a nice little small kill switch, a activation auxiliary button, which you're not gonna use, it's just great for testing. The 18650 lithium ion battery, which is removable, which is why we have the charger. So the charger goes with that. And then Proffie board. Didn't even mention this is Proffie 2.2 because you guys already know I love Proffies. Proffie's located right in there. Kind of hard to see it in there, but it is there. Great. Now this is very different from me. This pin system, it has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pins that go straight into the hilt, and it only goes in one direction, so you can't mess that up, and you don't want to force that in. So if you notice that it takes some force to get in, you probably have it the wrong way, and you don't want to do that because you're gonna mess up the chassis. So you don't want to do that. Like I said, the battery is removable, so you can easily pull it out. And in there, it has a plus and a minus sign there, so you know exactly which one's negative and positive. Do not, I'm telling you guys, do not put it in the other way around. Negative to positive, positive to negative. Do not do that because you will destroy your board. I think one day what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, like, for fun, wire up a board with a battery terminal and just plug it in opposite way just to show you guys what can happen if you do that. So if anybody has an extra Proffie board out there, or anybody wants to supply a Proffie board for me, let me know so that I can do that for a test so everyone can see what happens. So the battery will simply just go right back in. And there is also a little nub here as well that's easy, or allows you to actually grip onto it and pull it out of the actual hilt. You don't need that just because there's enough for you to grab onto instead of grabbing onto that. The nice thing too is the kill switch is actually located just about here once you enter it into the hilt. And you can actually simply just turn that on and boom, done deal. So let's actually throw this thing in here. So all you want to do is slide this back in. What I like to do is take the auxiliary button that's right here on the opposite side and kind of line it up like with the battery very close. You cannot turn the chassis once you put it in, and so you're gonna see you can't do that. So it's only gonna go in one way. You're gonna want to push that in, not too much force, and you'll feel it click right into place. And like I said, the kill switch is located here, so you don't have to pull it out, you know, just to turn it on. All you gotta do is just do this. You have no power. And boom. I've already added a Shin font on there from Kyberphonic. I already added it on there. And actually, I forgot to show this, that once you do that, you have those LEDs in there. So that's very cool. And I just turned it on. And we're gonna throw it right back in. Let me get that right back in. There we go. Perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw that back on there. Now, for a speaker this small, it sounds great. To be honest, like. Now you can see the NPXLs in there are lighting up right in there, so it looks great. And they're quite bright as well, so that works extremely well. Now, one thing I really want to touch up on, because I'm gonna move all this stuff out of the way, is this stand. It looks like it's just some standard vertical stand, but the one thing that if you don't already know about San Diego Comic-Con's photos of these hilts is when these hilts were displayed at San Diego Comic-Con, they were displayed on a stand just like this. So if you look at that there, this is exactly the type of stand that was used at San Diego Comic-Con that displayed the hilts while they're out there. So like Baylan Skoll's, I'm not really sure if Ahsoka's was the same, but for sure Baylan Skoll's and Shin Hati's stands were just like this. So it's very cool that the stand that they provide is one used very similar to the ones at San Diego Comic-Con. Very cool. At first, when I opened it, I was like, this is kind of weird. And then as I was doing the research and looking at the comparisons between the hilt and like the ones from San Diego Comic-Con, and I was like, wow, it's actually pretty accurate. And the colors are pretty dead on. Then I realized this is exactly the same one used at San Diego Comic-Con. So very cool. Very, very, very cool that they added that in there. So I'm going to go and throw this back in the box so we can fire up the hilt and show you guys what you get in there. Now, the hilt is going to come with 29 sound fonts already uploaded on there. It does not come with the Shin Hati font, but I spoke to Russell at Vader Sabers and he said he's currently working on making it a stock font once you receive it. So I hope that goes into effect very, very soon, just because yes, it is a Shin Hati lightsaber and you're gonna want this to sound exactly how it does in the show. Now in the case, you are gonna get your hex keys, your Allen wrenches, whatever you want to call them, but I invested in a pair of these. These are great. They have different sizes, so I'm going to be using this instead. And I'm also going to be using the test blade, not what comes in the box, just because it's a little long and I want to be able to show you guys the blade and how well it lights up. Now, blade depth, crazy. Blade depth, you're getting about, that's a lot. So right where my thumb is, that's how much is going into the hilt. You're getting a ton of blade depth there. So yeah, I mean, once you tighten it down, this blade is not going anywhere. Now, I did go into the config just to see what was available on there, and very, very cool thing is they already uploaded it with FET263's button layout. Now, if you're not familiar with FET263, he does all the operating systems for Proffie, blade styles. He does a ton of work for it, so if it wasn't for him, what we get in these Proffie hilts, we wouldn't have if it wasn't for him. Now, different companies offer different button layouts. I've seen about 2 or 3 recently, and he is my favorite when it comes to how you operate your saber. So when it comes to instructions, what you get with this hilt, it's dead on. FET263 has the best button layout. Like I said, this is going to be your activation, and this is going to be your auxiliary. So if we just ignite it, you'll see the reddish orange blade that you saw in the show. So it does have blaster deflex, and then we're gonna have lockup as well. Let's see. And I went ahead and add quotes from the show as well, so
you will regret this decision. You have no power.
And it's for a small speaker that you get in here, oh my goodness, it sounds so good. It's so small and it sounds so good. You can do a lot of things with small things. Believe it or not, there's a lot of things you can do. Now, when it comes to FET263, all you need to do is just press the auxiliary button once to get your next font.
That lightsaber was loose.
And you're gonna get the standard Proffie fonts that you get with all your Proffie hilts. Now, again, if you do not know how to program Proffie, add fonts, you know, it's something I highly recommend you guys learn how to do just to get the best out of your sabers. You can do so much with Proffie, and once you learn how to do it, it's a game changer. I'm really hoping soon I can make a video for you guys. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it on a brand new user on a MacBook, start from scratch so you guys can see it yourself. So if you guys wanna see that, let me know in the comments, because it's very important you guys know how to use Proffie or get the best out of it, because it gets pretty expensive, especially if you do custom builds. Here is the, or I guess you can say the rays. Music as well. Let's see, what else do we got?
I am Bastila Shan.
And it just sounds so good, you guys. It's crazy, man. Like, I am, to this day, I've been playing with this almost every single day, and I'm shocked in how good this little speaker sounds.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Of course, with Proffie, you're going to get your gesture controls, and if you're not familiar with gesture controls, all it is, you just take your hilt and you're going to want to rev it kind of like a bike back and forth, so, and that'll turn it on.
I know what I have to do.
Ooh, some Kylo Ren. Nice. Kind of has this nice flame effect into it. Camera never shows off the blade styles very well. It's when you see it in person, you notice. It's crazy what Proffie does. Now, if you guys noticed, if I go here with the auxiliary button once,
Rey Skywalker.
it's gonna go forward in the font, so it's gonna go from font 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this is slightly different because the board is facing another way, so there is a way you can change it in the config, but all you gotta do is actually point this straight up and press the auxiliary button.
Rey Skywalker.
You're gonna go backwards.
I know what I have to do. I am a Jedi.
I am that light. Shin Hati.
And you're back to Shin Hati. Again, you can go backwards,
Power.
and it tells you your battery power and your blade, and it just goes backwards.
Put the hammer down.
So we have a Thor font. And then just go forward again. It's more a horizontal.
Power. Shin Hati.
Back to Shin Hati. See if I can get melt to happen.
You will regret.
No, it's so hard to get that. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to Proffie, that is probably the hardest thing to actually get to work is melts and tip drag. That has to be the hardest thing for me to actually get. Has to be the sensitivity of the board when you're doing the config. That's an easy fix. But I don't use it all that often anyways, so it's really not a big deal. My biggest gripe with it, I'm gonna say, is I wish this came in a 7/8 configuration for the blade. I feel like this was probably a little too thick for it to be a 1-inch blade. And let me show you guys that really quick. Is, get that down here. All right, is that right there? I wish it was actually thinner to fit a 7/8 blade. Now what you could do, you could buy yourself an adapter that fits in here, that fits a 7/8 blade, so you can actually fit an adapter into the blade, and then the whole adapter with the blade slides in. The only thing is you're gonna notice is the blade will be significantly smaller than the diameter of the emitter. That is my only gripe about this hilt. This is the only thing, I'm not gonna say I don't like about it, but I will say that was a missed opportunity for Elf Sabers, was not to make this a 7/8 blade holder. That was their biggest mistake. But besides that, Elf Sabers like really knocked this one out of the park. And again, this is an amazing opportunity for anyone who's new to lightsabers to upgrade their quality of sabers from Vader Sabers. And again, I am so happy that Vader Sabers now carry Elf Sabers, because I can't even say how many times I have Elf Sabers in my collection, and they're such great quality hilts, and you can feel the metal, you can feel the weight. It's such a huge difference. All right, guys, so final thoughts on the hilt. I have really no complaints about it, except for not having a 7/8 blade. That's the only thing I'm gonna say about it. It feels great, it looks great, and it's ridiculous how great it sounds for such a small little speaker. I have some that are in the 28s, some that are 24s, and they don't sound as great. And for this to have such a discreet, very discreet like sound ventilation, and it's right in there. Though that circle right there, that is the sound ventilation of this hilt. It's so discreet, you can't even tell it's there. You can't even tell why, because I forgot to mention it, because I forgot it's even there. So yes, when it comes to keeping it discreet, perfect, it's great. Size, I wish it was a little bit smaller, just a little bit. But besides that, it handles great. The smooth swing, the programming was done perfectly on there. Again, you're getting Fit 263's button layout, even better. I'm gonna literally give this like a 99.9% perfect hilt when it comes to Shin Hati, because you're gonna get all the features, you're gonna get the quality of the hilt. Yes, again, I wish it was a little bit smaller. Not a big deal, because besides that, everything else you get in the product is dead on to her hilt. And including what you get with customer service from Vader Sabers, and how fast I got this from Russell. Russell knocked this one out of the park. His decision to do Elf Sabers was perfect. I will definitely reach out to him, because I definitely want to get more Elf Sabers in my collection. So with that being said, you guys, also Vader Sabers, huge shout out to Vader Sabers for giving me a nice little discount on this one here for me, so that I can own this in my collection. This is going to be priced higher than the rest of their hilts that they have on their website, just because of the quality you're going to get out of this. You are going to get that upgraded box. You are going to get a more, guess you can say, screen accurate to Comic-Con is that a thing? To their lightsaber stand. I don't know if that made any sense, but to me that made sense. You're getting a lot with this hilt. You're getting a charger, you're getting the blade. You get so much out of this. So shout out to Vader Sabers for having a great quality product as usual. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the lightsaber review of the Shin Hati lightsaber from Vader Sabers. If you guys found this lightsaber review to be useful in any way whatsoever, or if you just want to support the channel, please consider to like, comment, subscribe down below as it helps this channel grow. I really hope to get this channel to 3,000 subscribers so I can do another lightsaber giveaway for you guys. So with that being said, you guys, I hope you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you. Peace!